Damn it, Snyder. Hello, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by. This time I'm coming at you for a very quick news update video about some upcoming Blu-ray news recently announced. Turns out in October, sometime in October, Kino Lorber is going to be releasing a Blu-ray edition of DeepStar 6. I was actually starting to compile my next, a list for my next video of 5 or so Blu-ray titles long overdue for, or movie titles long overdue for a Blu-ray release, and DeepStar 6 was one of the titles on the list, which now I'm going to have to cross off. Well, now I get to cross off, I should say. So this is a title that I was aware of, before and during it came out in the theater. I saw the little trailer TV spot on TV of the, as an 11-year-old, that shot of the guy crawling through the thing, and that heavy thing landing on his stomach, and him going ah! As an 11-year-old just getting into horror movies and stuff, I was like, oh man, I gotta see DeepStar 6. I wouldn't see it until it came out on video the following year, but of course that year DeepStar 6 was just in my the summer of 1989 is when the DeepStar 6 was just pretty much in my vocabulary, and I even made my own little short with a Fisher-Price PXL 2000 video camera called DeepStar 7. And
so welcome to DeepStar 7.
Yes, I heard you guys are doing very fine.
Six was destroyed.
How was 6 destroyed?
I don't know. Creature came and destroyed. So. Well, what are your orders, sir?
So basically what I'm saying is, DeepStar 6 has been a movie that's been with me since it was brand new on home video, and something that, is very near and dear to my heart. Admittedly, the lesser of the 3 underwater movies of the late 80s, but it should be said, it's the first one to come out. And it's funny because, in my opinion, there's 3 of them. Like, I think this came out in 88, and then, of course, you've got 89, Leviathan, and The Abyss. In my opinion, as they come out, they technically get better. The budgets get bigger. So you've got the bottom of the barrel DeepStar 6, Leviathan, and of course The Abyss. And I think Leviathan's already out on Blu-ray. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. But it's ironic that the best one of the 3 is going to be the last to come out on Blu-ray if The Abyss ever does. But anyway, as so often is the case, I'm all over the place in this video. It's just so hard to talk about this title without just gushing about my admittedly it's not a great movie or anything like that, but having seen it at 12 and just falling in love with it and spending the summertime as a 12-year-old enjoying this movie and stuff, it was it's near and dear to my heart. So I'm very excited about the upcoming Kino Lorber Blu-ray release of DeepStar 6. I'm not excited about having it come out in October, and being this time of year in May and stuff. I sure as hell don't want to think of October and the fall and stuff like that, but I guess it's safe to say that at least there's one good thing about October so far this year. So I guess that'll pretty much do it. From what I can see, there's no no special features or no specs really that have been revealed. One thing that I do think is kind of curious or interesting, the DVD, the VHS and the DVD, of course, in North America being full frame and stuff for your tube TV or whatever, works pretty good on the screen. And I was just like, I actually came across this title on Prime. It was free streaming if you've got Amazon Prime or whatever, and I was really surprised to see it was like an HD. This is probably the master of the transfer that's going to be on the Blu-ray. I was really surprised to see that it was like the wide kind of Panavision ratio. So it was probably like Super 35 or the kind of thing that James Cameron shot, The Abyss and Terminator 2 and stuff in, and I think True Lies as well, where it's really not like Panavision where you're going to lose so much of the frame on home video, but it's kind of like when you open it up for the 1:3:3 tube TV ratio or whatever, you're seeing a lot more on the top and bottom, which enables you to see, not lose so much on the sides. So apparently that might be the ratio that DeepStar 6 was shot in, because I was just really surprised, having seen it for the first time in widescreen on Amazon Prime, that You know, I think I was pretty sure that, you know, I could see more on the right and left than I'd ever seen on the home video versions before. So it's kind of interesting that that's the ratio. It's you know, it was in theatrically or whatever. Kind of a bummer that, you know, then you gotta lose the top and bottom of what you're used to seeing your whole life or whatever. But before I end this video, I will say that if you guys don't know, this is a Sean S. Cunningham movie, the guy who did the original Friday the 13th. You even got Harry Manfredini, who does the score for this movie, and he does a pretty good job with this underwater sci-fi-esque kind of score. You've got the guy who was in, at the time in the late 80s, I think there was this sitcom show called My Two Dads or whatever, and this guy was one of the dads, I think, or whatever. You've got Nancy Everhard, who would go on to be in The Punisher as well with Dolph Lundgren and stuff. And you've even got the guy, you know, the kind of the tubby sheriff guy from the original Friday the 13th, who has a part in this, you know, the guy who picks up Steve Christie on the road and talks to Alice at the end at the hospital or whatever. But anyways, so much for my, you know, short news update video. I just it's just hard not to gush about movies that you grew up with and that you're passionate about and stuff like that. So I guess that'll pretty much do it for this this update video about the upcoming Kino Lorber Blu-ray release in October, unfortunately, of DeepStar 6. It would be very nice to have, you know, since growing up with this movie or seeing this movie for the first time in the summer, it'd be very nice to have this Blu-ray release in the summer, but alas, does not look like that's going to be happening. But I'll take it in October rather than not at all. So thank you very much for watching this video, and as always, we'll catch you on the next one. But this could be the only chance I get to make a study before we leave. But this could be the only chance I get to make a study before we leave. Fucking shit.